Going to have an impact on your temperatures today. Your traffic and weather together with forewarned meteorologist Daniel McFarland. A much cooler afternoon than these past few days, Daniel.
Yes, so it is going to be a lot cooler no matter which way it turns out, Rob, because we reached the mid-80s yesterday. Felt pretty nice, I thought.
It did, yeah. It was definitely a change of pace, but we're going back to kind of more of those winter temperatures, not the spring temperatures.
Yeah, that's a good point because a lot of us will be stopping in the 60s. Now, where we stop in the 60s is going to be dependent on the cloud cover, the dry air, and of course the wind. So we'll talk about those temperatures in a second. But the big thing you need to watch out for is going to be the wind. In fact, there is a wind advisory for some of southern Arizona, and it's mainly going to be over towards the east of Tucson. So if you're in a spot like, say, Tucson itself or near Sarita or Green Valley, you are not included, but some strong winds are still likely. And everyone has a great weekend to look forward to, as we'll talk about here in just a second. They're starting to pick on up, not too bad. At the airport, you have those winds around 7 miles per hour. Near the Air Force Base for you about 10, and they're going to be increasing for just about everyone. I do think if you're closer towards western Pima County, Ajo, Sells, probably even Sassabee as well, I think the worst you're going to have is likely to be around, say, 30 mile per hour wind gusts. But for Tucson, during the middle of the afternoon, between 20 and 30 is going to be possible. But look down at Nogales, look at Sierra Vista and Bisbee right here. Their numbers might be in between 35 and even 50, which is why we do have that wind advisory in effect. Now, typically it takes some time for the winds to die on down, but look at this. For Friday, this is already going to be in the afternoon. Winds are gone at that point in time, and you're going to have some great temperatures. Now, the wind advisory, again, for Graham, Cochise County, some portions of Santa Cruz and Pima County, but the main cities in both of those counties are not going to be included here. But I do think blowing dust could be an issue in spots like Nogales and Tucson as well. But if you're tracking any kind of real good blowing dust threat, that's still going to be mainly in Cochise County. A spot I always like to keep an eye on is going to be on the interstate in between Wilcox and the border with New Mexico. That's typically where you have some of those major dust storms develop during summer, and it's very prone to even just some minor blowing dust. So I think it's going to be more likely there than anywhere else with the way things are shaping up so far. All right, so when it comes to high temperatures across the area here, you do see upper 60s, I think, at most for the high temperatures. Now, if you have a couple spots that have a lot of cloud cover, you might actually have highs closer to like Vail, 64 degrees. You could see it a little bit lower, like 65 or 64 out there. It's just all dependent on a few different things, wind being the primary one, and of course how much sunlight we get will be a huge determining factor too. But when it comes to the low temperatures, those are going to be significantly chillier, likely down into the upper 30s for a lot of us across the area here, at least around Tucson, and even cooler than that if you're over there in, say, Wilcox, Benson, Tombstone, Bisbee, Douglas, all of whom are going to be down near the freezing point for the day tomorrow. So that's something else we're going to be looking at too. Now for Sells and Ajo, not so bad for you, 37, 41, still going to be on the warmer side, and these low temperatures should be coming up pretty quickly over the next few days too. Now over the next 7 days, there's going to be plenty of sunshine. I do think after we're done with today, in fact, it'll be sunny throughout most of next week. You do see 80 for a high on both Saturday and Sunday. That was weather. Let's take a quick look at traffic before you get on.